Melissa Drexler, the girl who killed her baby at prom, received 15 years in prison. Amy Grossberg, who along with her boyfriend killed their baby in a motel room, received 2.5 years ago. Both of them were sentenced because they killed their newborn baby just minutes after they were delivered. So why is it such a crime just minutes after the baby is born and yet perfectly fine to so many people just days before they are actually to be born? 50 to 60 million babies are killed each year. In the United States alone, 1.4 million babies die a year due to abortions. That is nearly 4,000 a day. Among these abortions, partial birth abortions take place, a particularly gruesome killing of a baby. Are teenagers becoming confused why killing just before delivery is okay and not illegal just minutes after? This topic of abortion, specifically partial birth abortion, is a very disturbing one to me. I believe in the sanctity of life, but also have friends of my family still living with the horrors of the abortion they had years ago. Because of this, I have researched this topic numerous of times. A partial birth abortion is a gruesome, unnecessary killing of a newborn baby and should be made a federal crime. Of the statistics I just mentioned earlier of abortions each year, many of these are partial birth abortions. In one clinic in New Jersey alone, 1,500 partial birth abortions were just done in 1996. Many people have not been educated to know what a partial birth abortion is, and this is a procedure done typically between 4 and 6 months of pregnancy, but is commonly done into the 9th month. First, the doctor reaches up and grabs the baby's legs with a forceps of his or her hand and turns the baby around so that it comes with its feet first. Then the baby's heads are pulled out into the birth canal. The doctor then delivers the baby's entire body except for the head. The doctor will then stick scissors into the baby's head, and then the scissors are open so that the hole will enlarge. The scissors are then removed, and then a tube is stuck into the baby's head, and the baby's brain is then sucked out by something called a suction catheter, and then the caved in skull is then removed. Why is this? Why do people think that it's okay for this to be happening? With this type of procedure legal, is this causing confusion and the value of life to go down in the midst of our generation and the generations to come? I mean, educating ourselves about this topic won't kill us, it will only help. Partial birth abortions need to be made a federal crime. All of us are at an age that we can just write a simple letter to our congressman supporting their vote against such an act as Partial Birth Abortions Act. There are many objections to the banning of abortions, but here are a couple of things to think about. A story with Dr. Pamela Smith, who is a director of medical education in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at Mount Sinai Hospital in Chicago, said, "There are absolutely no obstetrical situations encountered in this country which require a partially delivered human fetus to be destroyed to preserve the health of the mother. A baby's heart begins to beat at only 24 days after conception, and a brainwaves can be recorded at only 43 days. A baby can survive outside the mother's womb only 6 months after conception. I know a family that all 4 children were premature by at least a month, one of which was 6 months old. So I say again, partial birth abortions need to be made a federal crime. If procedures like this continue to be acceptable in the minds of Americans, confusions will continue and more teenagers like Melissa Drexler and Amy Grossberg, who I mentioned in the beginning, and whom were among other things confused, will make life-changing mistakes due to the declining value of life. Passing the Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act would be one large step for this country, even for the world, remembering the sanctity of life. And this verse, when God says in the Bible, "I formed you in the mother's womb. You are fearfully and wonderfully made," which is found in Psalms 139:13 and 14. A partial birth abortion is an unnecessary killing of a baby that many people are not aware of And this is the type of abortion that needs to be made a federal crime. Congress can override a president's veto and make it a federal crime, but he may need all of our support. Are we going to totally forget the sanctity of life and how important children are to us? This country works hard to preserve our natural resources, but we must realize our most precious natural resources is children. So honestly, in my opinion, I don't believe in any abortion, especially partially, um, partially abortion, partial birth abortion. Um, I believe that it is a crime to kill a baby that is already born, and um, then a baby that is not even born yet. I mean, I don't understand why people are perfectly fine with that. It's like you're killing another life. I know it's basically the same thing. Like both of them are practically just abortion, but a baby that who is about to be born is being killed. I find that as such a wrong and gruesome thing. So I find it as an unnecessary killing of a newborn baby and should be made a federal crime. So how about you?